Monkey Moonbane here with another tutorial. This time we're doing Gccg. We'll try to do a cover all the bases for a install and running for Windows and Linux. The basics of the Linux install are just to go to the SourceForge website, gccg.sourceforge.net, and then the how to install GNU Linux. You can just download the main file from this link right here, and then untar it by either using this command or doing it through Nautilus or whatever other Windows Manager program you use. And you can run these commands to install it. If you just run it in order, this will install all the core files. Then you can run this command to look at the status of all of the individual games and card files that you can choose to download. And then for individual games, you use this command. To run it, you would then use the command for the game itself. Like for Magic would be MTG, for something of Middle Earth, something Wars, whatever that card game is called, you would use this one. But before you'd run it, you'd want to install the card files using this command right here, and just change the METW to MTG-card star. And that will install all the cards for Magic the Gathering. Excuse me. For Windows is a little bit different. You would download this general installer here, and it'll come with a whole bunch of bat files. And then to install the individual games, you run the install game name that you want .bat. I actually have that right here. So once you have that main file installed using this blue link, you'd go to wherever you downloaded it, pop that open with whatever archive manager you use, such as WinZip, 7-Zip, or WinRAR, or whatever, and you'll see that it comes with this file. You'll extract that. I like to put it into my games. Extract it into your games, and then it will be in your games folder. This is where I keep the other one. This is where I'll put my Windows one, just for example's sake. And when we come in here, you'll see all these bat files: install Cthulhu, Lord of the Rings, METW, and Magic the Gathering. So what you do is just run this install mtg.bat to install the game itself. Then you'd run install mtg-cards.bat to install all of the card files. Once they have been installed, a new bat file that's just called mtg.bat will appear, and that's what you run to actually run the game. To edit, when you first run the game though, it will use whatever your home name is as your login. So like mine is home monkey, so it'll just grab monkey and make that your username. And then it'll generate a password file that will connect that username with the connection that you've established. And so to change that, you'd actually go into where you have your magic.bat, and I'm going to open that with a regular file. Okay, and so when you open your mtg.bat and with a notepad instead of with your just running it, you'll see what commands it uses to launch the game. And so down here, this very last command is where it actually launches the client and picks the magic setup type. And then you just change this from, it should be something like that, or it won't be there at all, because it'll actually just run that by default. So you can just you can add this and just change this user to whatever you want to be called, like that. That way, if your name is Edward Scott Fitzgerald and you don't want everyone to know your name is Edward Scott Fitzgerald, you just want to use a user nickname, you just put that in right here, user, and then just go with Edward. Bam. And then when you launch the game, for the first time, it'll generate this as your username and a password to go with it. So, and then always make sure you run the same one for the same connection. And they don't like it. You could use multiple Magic mtg.bat files to launch as different users, but they will track that. And if you just make a whole bunch of usernames for no reason, they will kick you just because they find that annoying and harder to keep track of everything. So just pick which one you want to go with and use that. So when you launch the game, I have made a link. Oops, I already got it going. Let's close this one. Oop, damn, there we are. You launch the game, it will log you in like that. You'll see the other players and the available tables to play on. To make a deck, you would, because that's the first thing you'll want to do, is you can come down here, right click anywhere to see the little menus, like when I click on a table, it'll show the sit down, play, leave. When I click on a person, it'll show their info. When you click on just the background, it will give you the main menu for the background. So you can do create new deck, and that would bring up a blank deck for you. And when you say create new deck, it'll actually give you a couple commands underneath here to say, okay, what do you want to do with that? And like this. The way you rename your deck is you type rename deck and then the command new name, and then or you can use new deck with a name there to name the deck before making it. That way you don't have to rename it afterwards. So anyway, to make a deck, you first will do that to make the deck, and then you show the collection, show hide collection, which will bring up all the magic cards. Once you've downloaded them, all the pictures will be here. To find a specific card, down here at the very bottom, you see I'm typing, say find Terramorphic Expanse. And if you think you're going to spell it wrong, you can actually stop a little bit early in your typing. And then boom. And then to see what you can do, you just right click on the card. The default middle click will add one, left click will take one from, and so you just remember those commands. So middle click, middle click, middle click to add stuff, left click, left click, left click to remove, scroll your mouse to scroll through the list where you're at, or you can click on the tabs to get to a specific set if you know which set you want to play with. After we've built a deck, it'll show you the number of cards and organize them over here for you. We can hide that. We'll hide my deck. Let's use this command select deck to pick a deck that I've made. Just pick one randomly and hop into a game. When you click on a table, it'll send you there. You can't right click on your middle click on your name to join the table. You actually have to middle click on the table itself to join the table, and then it'll throw you into a game. You can see all the commands here with right clicking on it, like shuffle, draw 7 cards, and it'll give you your cards there. Hold down shift with your mouse over any card to show the card bigger in the left corner. Hit Control E after you're done with your turn to make a noise and show the other person you've ended your turn. Left click plays a card, middle click taps. If you type / mulligan, do auto mulligan for you with one less card than you had before. And you just play your cards like that. Left click draw a card here. We're going to play a couple of these and tap, 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 play that. Type in any number like 40, changes my hit points automatically up here to 40. And if you just do -3, it'll, oops, -3, with -3 from your hit points. The way you type a normal number without changing your hit points, you have to like add something before it. And that's pretty much the gist of the game. So if you want to type numbers, don't just type numbers. You say like, hey, how about 20, you know, or whatever. If you just type 20 flat, it'll change your hit points. So keep that in mind. You've got the basics of the tapping, building decks, and when you're done, you just select whether to do won, lost, draw, undecided, and accept the result. I'll say that I won, and after I win, it'll flip you right back into the main game there. So happy gaming, enjoy it. I'm gonna quit now.